They are the first U.S. military casualties since the Israel-Hamas war erupted back in October. Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm tells us that families of the fallen Army reservists want them to be remembered for their dedication.
What's good, everyone? I want to welcome y'all back to another episode of Triggered News Topics. And I'm your host, Thy Lord Amun-Ra. And today's topic is Black soldiers were allowed to be killed. Let's get into it. Now, I know you're probably wondering, what? The black soldiers are allowed to be killed? Yes. Now, for those that might not know what I'm talking about, I think last week there were 3 black soldiers that were killed in an illegal military base over there in the Middle East. Now, the mainstream public want to tell us that it was in Jordan, but really, the base was in Syria. And by international law, the U.S. has no legal right to be in Syria. So that's why they keep trying to push Jordan, because we're so-called supposed to be still friendly with Jordan. But the point I'm trying to make is, reason why I believe that the black soldiers were allowed, well, first of all, by the evidence that has been coming out, their air defense systems did not activate, okay, to protect the base. And now the story that they're trying to say from the Pentagon as well, they thought that the drone, the suicide drone that attacked the base was an American drone. So they allowed it to get into its airspace. And then so conveniently, the drone hit the bunker where the 3 black soldiers were sleeping at. Now, if we know the history of this country, you know, they do a lot of false flagging so they can rile the American people up to get behind pushing Congress and them to go to war. And that is my point right now, because the U.S. has been itching, looking for all types of reasons to, in general, war in the Middle East, but specifically go to war with Iran. And if you're wondering why they itching so bad, well, the answer is Israel. These are all of Israel's enemies. And right now, we all know that Israel is in war with Hamas, and which is causing a whole big uproar with the whole Middle East, which is dragging a lot of other entities into the war. And let's be honest, Israel is losing. They are losing that war. I mean, they're losing it politically. As we see around the world, people are not rallying for Israel. And as if you don't know, the international courts of justice have basically ruled against Israel and declared them as committing genocide. And a lot of Israel's friends now in the EU are starting to turn against Israel. So they're losing politically, they're losing financially, because the majority of Israel's armies are made up of conscripts. So when the people are out there fighting, there's no one really building up the economy. So they're losing money. And they're literally losing because they was boasting that they was going to eradicate Hamas by now and took over Gaza. But Hamas is kicking their behinds. And now they're about to get into some stuff with Hezbollah. And Hezbollah has already kicked their behinds twice. And this has already been prophesied to them by the U.S. military when they were doing war games about this certain situation about like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Right? So that's that one issue. Number two, I believe the black soldiers were allowed to be killed because America knows that the foundational black Americans are, disillusioned by this country. We are basically tired of the disrespect. So we've kind of done our own type of protest where we're having hands off with everything with America, basically. We're not giving that spiritual morale. We're not giving that energy and promotion that we usually do when America, or as far as the politics, or as far as different issues, where we're usually the ones on the front lines protesting, rallying, using our voice to push for stuff. We're not doing that no more. Foundation of Black Americans, we've decided that we're only going to concentrate on our issues, and it's because of the blatant disrespect. We got the illegal immigrants that they're pushing in here, and they're prioritizing over us. They're giving them finances out of our tax dollars. But anytime we need something for us and our children and our people, they can't find no money. They're pushing programs that all of a sudden they got money for, but when it was for us, they didn't have no money for, programs for training, for jobs and stuff, programs for schools to keep schools open and parks open. But all of a sudden we couldn't get none of that. They closing our schools. We can't get no training programs. They're letting us just fade out in the wind. But now all of a sudden these illegals that haven't paid no taxes, haven't fought no war, have done nothing for this country, they're just coming out the woodwork with all these hundreds of billions of dollars for. And we're tired of that. We're sick of it. And then, you got the politics, especially the Democrats, who we've always rooted for. We've always got out there and voted for. We've always pushed and promote them. And this last president, Biden, out his mouth, went on TV and declared that he had black people's back. And all he's been doing is just putting his boot to our back, leaving us out there in the cold. And no pun intended to our homeless brothers and sisters that's out there in Chicago. But you got homeless brothers and sisters that got to ride the trains and all that stuff because they don't got no programs for them. They can't find no room for them for the shelters and stuff. But all of a sudden, all these illegal immigrants, they just filling up the shelters to the point where now they're pushing our children out of schools, high schools and stuff, so they can put the legal immigrants in there. And us foundational Black Americans, we've had enough. And we've been very vocal. We've been vocal about all this stuff. And now that in 2024, the elections is coming around, they realize that they're in some stuff. We don't promote the military no more, none of that, because if you speak to a lot of black veterans, old schools to even now, they'll let you know that there's still a great amount of racism, anti-black racism in the military towards us. So we don't promote, we don't push none of that. We don't rally for none of that now. We just rally and push and promote for foundational Black American issues. A majority of us are not pushing for Israel. Majority of us are not pushing for Palestine. We're not pushing for the legal immigration. We're not pushing for the Democrats. We're not pushing for the Republicans, really. You just really hear us just talk about one person, Donald Trump, because right now he's got a lot of stuff that he wants to do that aligns with our agenda. So, he's coming in going to deal with the legal immigrants. He's coming in going to deal with the debt, the finances. So those are two of the major things right now that, that is a problem. So we need somebody to deal with that. And we see Biden is sitting up there allowing all this stuff to happen, So that's the reason why I specifically believe that they allowed those black soldiers to be killed. You know, a false flag to get us riled up again, to get us to push for, and promote for the country again, for the military again, so we can just get up and be all patriotic like we've always been. And that's the biggest disrespect to the foundational Black Americans. We have never been disloyal to this country, no matter all the garbage and all the stuff that this country has done for us. All right? We've saved this country numerous times. It was Christmas Attucks, a black man, that started off the Revolutionary War against England, all right, to start this whole American stuff. And then it was the foundational Black Americans that fought in the Civil War to save the whole United States, okay? And we've been fighting in all the wars ever since, all right? And we've been paying taxes. We've been pushing for politics and rights and all types of stuff. And we've been creating a whole lot of things to make this country great. From medicine to science to art. I mean, we've generated the money that makes this country the richest country in the world in the first place. All right? We've created all the styles and all the great things that make people around the world want to be a part of America. And they disrespect us all the time. And now we've had enough. And they realize that now. They realize that now. We are only dealing with our issues. So I believe, because now that they want us to rally up for war in the Middle East, and they're trying to figure out some type of way to bring back the draft, they know we're not going to be having that. We're not going to stand for that. So they allow them, specifically 3 black soldiers, so they could put on TV, and they want to think, oh, the black people are going to get upset about that, and like, oh my God. And yes, we're upset about that. Yes. Condolences to the family of those soldiers that died. That is tragic. And I'm not looking over that. No, I'm not. I'm not dismissing that at all. But the whole big picture is these people have always done dastardly things to always try to get us to get up and rally up, get in the front, get the protesting, get the promoting, catching all the slings and arrows. And then while we getting hurt, and while we're getting pushed and promoted as the rebel rousers and all that, everybody else is in the back reaping the benefits, and we've had enough of that. So I want to tell y'all, my foundational Black Americans and my other black folks that are not cooning or not tethering, because that's all tethering is just foreign coons, that are really on our side, to stay vigilant and pay attention and don't let them fool you. Because that's what it all is about. Trying to fool us into getting their backs. So I'm about to end this. I'm not going to stay too long. I want to thank all y'all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Please leave your comments. Come to the YouTube section and leave your comments in the comment area. And share this with everyone that you know on whatever social media that you may use, So once again, thanks to all of y'all. Have a wonderful evening, And yeah, that's it, man. Peace to y'all.